full of props. I don't have my props. I lost it at the airport. I'm sorry. All right. Inconceivable. Undead from Morgoth, land of the living dead, where they robbed zombies, spoke the unsaid, unspeakable names in Norse, moved to Old English dungeons. After one hit wonders, wandering shadows, my brother was locked up falsely because of a goose's gander at these crows, come together for a murder on Fox. As I put my niece to sleep, I feel the tension outside of a white Jeep. Assassins with deformed creeds attempt to slaughter my peeps. Like a bartender, I used to not deal with children, so I put her to sleep so I could watch gunmen, Russian fingers riding to Winchester where my homie knows me well. We sip Miller's beer, his daughter's pregnant, she's a warrior, she birthed the mandate of heaven, sweeping fingers across the page, dabbling lyrical gravel in the tabula rasa. Inconceivable as Chaucer and Pandemonium, disemboweling the assassins' deformed creed. Jackson Pollock guts on the tabula rasa. Nervous owl gets disassembled after it crashed into the street. All right, thank you. This next one is called Sandlot. The blue-green ball field, the sage sandlot, the vert vineyard of vernal baseball players dotted the baseball diamond like chicken pox on Piccolo's bony cheeks. Burl weeds and apple aquamarine grass littered the dead patch of beige where he was standing. He was a reluctant right fielder, slightly overweight and constantly stuttering with a vexatious lisp. Big-lipped with gap teeth, standing in a baseball uniform with the name Pirates haphazardly embossed on the back. Staring at the pitcher, hoping no Frankenstein-stitched lead balls would come his way. But if they came his way, if one of those hermetic sutured summer stealers came his way, he was trained in how to catch and properly toss one of those fatalistic flame-fashioned fastballs back into the inner diamond. The scalding, searing hot, thermogenic saffron sun was away that day, leaving a heterogeneous mix of Purbeck stone and Cornforth white portrayals in the sky. He wasn't sweating, plus the team he plays for sucks. So the likelihood of a ball coming in his way was as slim as the chances that he would have sex with the women on the softcore porn channel. That's what HBO and Showtime were to him. Gonna skip that part. To be back at home watching glimpses of side boob. Maybe a nipple was all he wanted. But his father took him to Matthew Dickey and gave him the option of baseball or football because he couldn't do boxing for some reason. Maybe the slots were full, or maybe the thought of these muscular 13-year-olds juxtaposed to this slightly overweight lisping child was a bit too much for the coach to handle. By the way, I'm that kid in the dirty Pirates uniform. Pirates was our name. It's funny because we never stole anything, not one base. Some of us couldn't catch an STD. Always dropping the ball like a British spy playing billiards with the KGB for the design of the atom bomb and losing it like Hillary Clinton. The good thing about baseball was that I didn't have to do anything, especially playing in the outfield. It was like being my other brother's first father. I'm here for a bit, I contribute nothing to the other players, and I reap all the benefits if they succeed. But unlike their biological bum dad, I had to stay with the team until the 8-hour game was over. It was like a work day that I had to pay for. Well, my dad had to pay for it, and he was willing to do it, because he was like, you gotta do something. Can't have you in the basement torturing insects and small animals, pissing up under the stairs, and starting fires that you don't think we know about. He only knows about some of those things. I reflect I reflected on these things as I stood staring at the burrow weeds and apple aquamarine grass that littered the dead patch of beige. Thank you. I think I will finish with something a little bit more, I guess. I don't know what the word is. I don't know. Do you want higher minded something, or do you want something just gross? How do you guys feel?
Gross.
Gross? All right, cool. Next, man. Is that it? We'll get this real quick, and we'll get to gross. And gross at the end. Is that it? Yep, almost there. That. Oh, what? No. Yep. Like I said, this been better if I had my little book. Okay. All right. The fuck is that fucking thing? All right. Son of a bitch. Motherfucker. Okay, all right, there it is. Shit. Shouldn't be this hard. God damn. All right. Sorry about that. It's called Inside Out. I wanted to change my image from the inside out, so I reached into my mouth. The journey down my esophagus was harrowing. I allied with viruses and bacteria to battle scores of egregious germs hiding under my very own fingernails. In continuous campaigns over coarse terrains, we engaged in stridulent contests of squalling combat with an infinitesimally infinite infantry of immune cells. Those conspiratorially conservative lymphocytic knights of that network of fleshy traditionalism. There were so many sphinx-guarded sphincters, we nearly gave up our journey to change myself from the inside out. I gave many arousing spiritual sphincter-relaxing speeches. But it was the hemorrhoid, surging, almost surfing forth, a raging, painful, pustulal puffing forth that said, "Through the anus, the last sphincter." We contorted like contortionist snakes as we slipped through the small intestine and the largest of that large intestine. When we came to the final sphincter, I gripped those pink handlebars and pulled that flex spring of muscle all the way back through. Yes, my mouth is now a sphincter. From a black hole to an anus, nature loves dark regions that spew hot particles. But I wasn't changed enough. I merely put my bursting, bony skeletal muscle on the outside while my clothes were on the inside. I simply inverted the structure. So I fixed that problematic problem by sewing my belt shut. Now I eat and shit out the same orifice, like the humble sea cucumber or the noble jellyfish. But at least you can say you learned something.
Thank you.
You ready for Karen to come back?